Hi, welcome to my channel, Organized with Joy. I'm Joy and I want to inspire you to get organized. In today's video, I'm going to be tackling a project that I have been putting off for way too long, and that is decluttering our books. For the longest time, I really thought that these books were mostly my husband's fault, but one day when I was taking a picture for my Instagram post, I noticed that half the books in the picture were actually mine. So this inspired me to go ahead and go through our books and at least declutter my books. And here I'm just showing you some before shots so you can see what our shelves look like before I started this decluttering process. In addition to decluttering my books, I wanted to simplify what these shelves looked like. As you can see here, I have our books categorized by color, and that is one great way to organize your books so that they look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I have a lot of our children's artwork from over the years mixed in with our books, just as decor pieces, and I've decided that it's time to go ahead and take those down and store them away with my children's other artwork for them to decide what to do with when they move out of our home. I know that some people like to remove all of one certain item from a space, like for instance, all of the books from a space and decluttering that way after they have all the books removed, but I decided to work shelf by shelf. I just do a lot better when I have less to work with at once. I can get very easily overwhelmed. So I'm just going to go ahead and work shelf by shelf, and here you'll see that I'm going to go ahead and give them a good clean while everything's off the shelf. There are some certain home decor pieces on these shelves that I know that I'm going to keep and leave them on the shelves, so I go ahead and immediately replace those. And here I'm just working on this first group of books, and where it seems really easy for me, those are probably my husband's books because I won't be decluttering any of his books. So I just go ahead and put things back in that belong to him. I laid a blanket on the floor here in our game room because it is tile floor, so it was really uncomfortable, but that's the easiest place to work on this project. And I would really love to get an area rug for this room. We have had several different area rugs in the past, and our dogs just destroy them.
You and me, baby, it was you and me. We could never fall, nobody could break us, yeah, I thought we had it all. Take me back to when it was you and me, baby, it was you and me. Baby, it was
I'm not sure if you can tell yet here, but I'm replacing the books with the spines facing backwards because I just wanted to try something a little bit different to try to get a more cohesive and aesthetically pleasing look by using the back side of the books instead of the spines so that it all looked uniform. I recognize that this is super impractical, but honestly, I don't think we really look at these books at all ever. Actually, while I was going through them, I remembered a lot of books that I had forgotten about, but typically we don't revisit these books. Just another reason to declutter.
Baby, it was you and me. Baby, it was baby, it was you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like, do what you like to do. Ain't no one stopping you. Try to express.
I also wanted to share in this video different ways that you can organize your books. As you saw from the first clips, I initially had these books organized by color, and that can be a fun way to aesthetically arrange them. But there are other ways you can also organize your books. A couple of the more logical ways is you could organize them alphabetically so that it's very easy to find what you need when you're looking for it, particularly if you are familiar with the books you own and want to find something specific at a given time. Another really logical way to organize them is by grouping or by type. So maybe you have some books on a certain subject and you can organize all of those together. That way it's easy for you to go find what you're looking for when you're looking for a specific subject. When organizing books, I also like to have both vertical and horizontal orientation of different book piles. Again, this is just kind of a more aesthetically pleasing way to organize them. And I also like to add in decor pieces. It just breaks up the look of the books, the uniformity of the books, as you'll see in my final shots here.
Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like, do what you like to do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like, do what you like to do. Wow, wow. I could lie wide awake.
And I have to admit, the other day I was having a conversation with a group of friends where we were talking about books and talking about how many we owned and that sort of thing. And I was mentioning how pretty much all of our books belong to my husband. Well, when I went through this, I was first of all shocked at how many I was able to get rid of. But in addition to that, I counted all the books that I kept, and I counted 20 books. And I had told my friends that I was pretty sure I had 10 or less books that actually belonged to me. However, a good portion of them that I kept really are just sentimental books. I know, for instance, off the top of my head, I had a couple of Bibles that I've used in the past, and so I wanted to hold on to those. And then I also had a couple of books of poetry that my grandmother had given to me, which are really sentimental to me, that her and I both enjoyed poetry, and she has now passed, and so I really would like to hold on to these.
All the things I would do just to get close to you. There's something about the way you move, and I try to.
You will see me kind of arranging things just temporarily, basically, the way I think I might like them, but ultimately I end up kind of arranging and rearranging as I always do, and I didn't record all of it. I thought it might get boring to watch me rearrange things. I actually moved a couple of the shelves, and so in the end you'll see what I end up with, and I'll show you that in the end shot, so be sure to watch until the end.
Don't hide in the crowd, just stay with me and I'll make it worth your while.
actually going to try to rope my husband into helping with this purge of the books, but in the end I decided to just go through them first myself, and maybe in a future video you'll see my husband featured. Maybe I can get him to go through his books. Okay, so here I have a few different piles, and this is my pile of books that I'm getting rid of for sure. And this right here is a pile of books that I want to reassess to see if I'd like to reread them. I've had them for a really long time, so each one of them I read 15 to 20 plus years ago, but they looked interesting. And then this is just a pile of books that needs to go in a different location in our home. So that is what I have. Also, I really do feel like there was more books that I was wavering on that I could have gotten rid of. So I do want to return to this project again at a later date, but I feel really good about the number of books I was able to get rid of this time. And here I just wanted to give you a before shot just as a reminder of what these shelves look like before I started the decluttering process. And here is what it looked like after. I don't know if you'll notice, but that clock that is on the shelf there, I ended up spray painting that black. I just was really looking to make these shelves look more unified and simplistic, and the clock used to be a light blue and it just didn't blend in well. In the end, I really like how it turned out, and I feel like I achieved that uniform and simplistic look on these shelves. Well, thank you for watching my video today. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing. I hope this video gave you some motivation to declutter some space in your home. Maybe you could go through your books sometime soon. I always appreciate it when you watch until the end of the video, so if you are watching this portion of the video, I would love for you to leave me a little book emoji down in the comments. That way I know that you saw until the end.